Hello and welcome back to the Sheep Seats. I am your host, Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep. You can find me on Twitter at D4RKSH33PX. We're still there. We've made the move over to the bluer skies, and I hate to do this to y'all and rug you on the first one, but we're full. We're drafting. So I'm starting like a minute early here because I saw that there was only one spot left when I jumped in, and so apologies all around. Let's go, crew. I can't believe we're thinking about 2025 already, but we're here. We're doing it. So actually, this year, this tournament came out like a week or two earlier last year. So people have been jonesing for it. But yes, it's excellent to have it out. We will see some ridiculous teams shifts between now and the end. We're going to set some ADPs as we go in this contest. Everybody's going to get real comfortable with these ADPs. Ooh, baby. All right. So Glitch is up first. We got pick 5. So I know the man behind the curtain, Numi, has set up some of this initial ADP stuff based on some of the 7th inning stretch stuff probably last year, some steamer projections this year. Anybody that doesn't have a team looks like they are projecting as a 0 in the system, which is interesting. Checking my slows at Thanksgiving is greater than checking in with my relatives. No comment. We're hosting this year, so I can't go hide. I did start one slow draft, and I took Yordan Alvarez at pick 5. Apparently, I got pick 5 in 2 picks, 2 contests already. So let's go with our other favorite. Let's go with Tatis. We're gonna play the hits here until we get a feel for what's going on this year. Interesting. It looks like Mookie, at least for this contest, is infield. Maybe change by the time the dinger comes, and we kind of know for sure. They've said he's going to play outfield again, so but you never know. It changed multiple times last year what position he was going to play. It could again this year. Kind of surprising that nobody has grabbed the Bobby Witt in this early outfielder run. I feel like in the 7th inning stretch he was up in this area last year, but people are just kind of going with ADP again. Of course, you can throw it all out the window right now. Oh, tonight we have to we're drinking some Leinenkugels to support our brethren and sistren. That's not a word. Our friends in northern Wisconsin that the big corporation decided to shut down their brewery, which is No Me Gusta. The Leinenkugels Brewery in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Oh, Jay Riddle. Jaron Duran. Is that his ADP? That can't be his ADP. ADP 18. Oh, this is toasty. Okay. All right. Jaron Duran before Freddie Freeman, Jose Ramirez. This is why we love Underdog, right? The ridiculous, or hate it. I don't know. Love to hate it. I don't know. The ridiculous. I don't need. Why am I hearing headphones? I'm not listening to anybody. Now my ears are warm. I'm sweating. I'm all over the place. I did not plan this tonight, so we're just kind of going by the seat of our pants. I did, speaking of pants and clothing items, I did get a fresh t-shirt for our beloved sheep seats. Maybe you'll see some around. Going to the dog bowl, I printed a few extra to hand out to some friends down there. Start spreading the news that we're back up. I think that's a meme from a show I haven't watched. Yeah, so depending on when Acuna comes back, we already know he's not ready for the beginning of the season. I think that's about all the detail we have. So, we're on the clock. Francisco Lindor. Okay, all right, let's do it. Let's just play the hits. Another year. Kyle Schwarber showed again his weekly upside. This is an interesting one this year. I know, starting to take a peek at some of the Roto guys, some of this content they're starting to put out. I know there's some people that are pro Michael Harris. This stream was pro Michael Harris last year. I'm gonna have to really dig into him. He's one on my list to dig into. I've done no prep up to this point for the season. The obvious thing to notice here is the lack of pitching in the top. So OSU Missy gets in on the Paul Skeens. Probably going to be the first pitcher off the board almost all year. Will Langford at 27. Aggressive. We did not quite see everything we wanted to see out of him. Welcome, Mr. Riddle. Shake my head. Oh, we're on the clock. I've forgotten how to stream too. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna build our. We're gonna go outfield heavy. Obviously, last year the key to success was not who you had as your early outfielder. It was if you had Jarren Duran or Brent Rooker. Those were the guys to have last year in the outfield that really solidified your ability to win in the regular season and somewhat in the playoffs too. Lawrence Butler before Brent Rooker. That's interesting. Definitely going to have to figure out Oakland again. Interesting because, last year we saw Oakland just go mostly undrafted most of the time, Brent Rooker, and then no one. Now we got Zach Geloff at 166. So definitely a good output on offense there. Occasionally brought up the team into everybody's mind into this contest. I think so. I saw someone say Connor Norby was someone that was missing. I know behind the scenes that Numi worked with Tuma to come up with a list, so we can blame both of those guys. But from what Numi has said, if there's guys we want to get in for the dinger, is to start figuring out those names. He'll have the chance to add those, so not the end of the world. Did this change? I feel like this button you could get to if you scrolled down before. Not sure. I do not know how the Sacramento is supposed to play. From what I saw, though, in Tampa, they're going to be playing at the Yankees single A stadium there. And that is basically replica dimensions of Yankee Stadium. So that the theory there being the lefty short porch in right field should benefit lefties in Tampa. So Brandon Lau and I don't know. I see they cut Dylan Carlson today. Roki, yeah. This is gonna be one of those guys that you're gonna have to have an opinion on. I think this year, in how you're gonna draft him. Maybe right now is the best time to draft him before we get a team context, a good team context, and he's gonna potentially shoot up. This is silly. This can't happen. Okay, what? Look, I know. Trey Turner had a down year last year. I get it. I know we did not get what we wanted out of him, but you kidding me? Right here, go with this team, Schwarber, Turner. Let's do it. Let's get some queued up Phillies, the old school star method. Some rumors that Phillies are trying to move Alec Boehm, which is interesting. What do we got for Atlanta guys? Oh, Ozzy. What? Well, that's not right. Jorge Soler is on the Angels now, which what are the Angels doing? What are they doing? Sean Murphy, interesting to see what they do at catcher. Travis Darnod is not there anymore. He is also on the Angels, which is upsetting as a Logan O'Hoppe fan. I do not want playing time being taken from Logan O'Hoppe. We'll just hope for it's more of a mentorship program than a I'm going to take your playing time program. What we got for some Padres? Oh, Jackson Merrill is gone. That's all right. Luis Arraez at 73. I don't think we're going to be partaking in that part of the Padres. All right. Let's see. We got this outfield going. Oh, what are we doing here? All the names we know and love here at the Sheep Seats. Christian Yelich and Riley Green. Ah, crap. Yeah, well, we're going to make this fun. The first one. We'll take a Nick Castellanos 50 picks ahead. We did not mean to do that. I was trying to look through these infielders to figure out if we wanted one of them since we were so stacked at outfield. But it is what it is. The first mistake, might as well make the first mistake on the first dream draft, right? I mean, actually, it'd be better to do it on the last and make no mistakes. But we'll just open it. We'll just open the mistake can, let them out. Mr. J. Riddle is pulling in the young guns. You're putting together the young team here. A little Cole Reagans to go with a little Oakland stack here. Butler, Rooker. I don't really get that Lawrence Butler thing, but maybe I had to add him to the mental list of guys to really dig into. Ooh, Espo B saves our friend Jason Woo J Train from the Trout fall. Or is he falling? What is his ADP start? 81. So he gets moved up. I can only imagine that we get to spring training and he's healthy again, that this number is going to go up. He's still, I haven't really dug into projections. Oh, let's not miss a pick here. All right, we're gonna take Christian Walker. I wanted to take Yelich, but don't really want to take another outfielder there. Know what I was saying? I don't know what I was saying. Maybe Trout. Trout. I saw Jordan Rosenblum put out some of his initial projections, who you might know from helping with the Stuff Plus projections. His hitter stuff, he tweeted the other day that it was like his top 20 hitters by WRC Plus, and then another list of stolen bases. Mike Trout still projects wonderful. So definitely see once more numbers come out on him and people are looking at projections, he's probably going to shoot up. So now it is probably time to buy on Mike Trout if you want to get into that party, that race. I don't know. That sweat. Is he healthy sweat? Will he stay healthy sweat? All right. Well, Jonathan India today traded to the Royals. So that is super duper interesting. Will he be a consistent leadoff hitter on the Royals? There's definitely a path for that. What are we doing here? Fine. I'll do it. I'll take Christian Yelich. You're going to make me do it. I'm going to take him. Let's see. Going to be an interesting year this year. I think we always say it, or I always think that when we get into the Brewers season. What are they going to do in the off season? What are they going to do? Who is going to be the third baseman is the question mostly going into this year. What are they going to do at third base? So Joey Ortiz should move to shortstop because, I mean, it's not even a single minor chance that they will be re-signing Willy Adames. And honestly, look, Willy Adames is awesome. He's an awesome dude, great player to watch, fun player to watch, but the contract that he's going to get just does not make sense for the Brewers. Even if the Brewers wanted to spend, I don't think that that's the place that makes sense. This is interesting. How would Devin Williams look in a Phillies uniform? Makes you think. Tovar. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Adolis Garcia, 86. Is last season the downfall? Was that the end of his hot few years, or was he still dealing with health stuff? Some of the stuff that came out in the World Series was so, I don't know. He was a profile that the old breakout profile with pretty high strike rate that seems like it has the chance to fall off like it did. Sasaki goes. at 89. I need to learn how to pronounce his first name. That's also on the list. Roki. All right, we're on the clock. Pitchers are starting to go now. So let's start building our pitching pool. Ooh. Hello. Do we like Luis Castillo over Shota? I think so. I know you. We'll add him to the mental list to look at. What really happened to Luis Castillo last year? What really happened there? For now, I'm just going to move up his ADP for this pick. I think. Yeah. Just one of those guys that, I guess he didn't get close to 200, but, one of those guys, one of those workhorse guys, whether he's great or not in a year, he's just going to pitch innings. No doubt about that. Yeah, so now a lot of infielders are sort of starting to glob up here at the top. Glass now at 136. What says elbow is fully healed? Okay. I'll believe it. Let's start putting these pictures together here. George Kirby's here. I don't love Shota here. Sandy. Sonny Gray doesn't make sense. Let's build a little fun Seattle pitching stack. Definitely something that was a positive to have last year. Maybe not only George Kirby. Bryce Miller, yeah. We'll see if we can get Bryce Miller. For those of you not following the Stacking Dingers account, we now have that. If you look up Stacking Dingers on Twitter or Blue Sky, we now have an account officially for that. Going to be meeting with those friends tomorrow night at some point and kind of finalize our plan for this year. So got some fun things planned. I spent a little money on some Fiverr logos, so we'll be seeing an official Stacking Dingers logo or two. I don't know. They gave me a couple options that I don't hate. So that's fun. Trying to make that into more of a professional looking thing. It's kind of the goal this year. So if you are not following those, go follow those, or go to the Substack and put your email address there and give us your email, and you'll get each show right to your inbox. And hopefully other things. I don't know yet exactly what we all got. We're going to commit to, but this is fun. Go with those young outfielders and put a little Josh Naylor, Bo Bichette. This is a name I was interested to see where he was going to end up. Xavier Edwards, really. He was kind of a nice roto guy last year. Nice pickup. Gets steals and average and everything. So I was curious where he was going to go. How many underdog points did he compile in the time he was up? 682. Projects for 1178. All right, so this is the pitching portion of the draft. Everybody starts their pitching. A lot of names here that we were hoping to get back. Freddie, Logan, Hunter. Not sure about Sandy. I was never a huge Sandy fan in terms of fantasy. Excellent pitcher. But Tyler Fitzgerald is here at 92. Wilson Contreras, who should be first base, DH, not catcher this year. I was hoping maybe for some value on him, but looks like that is not the case. Who else we got here? So we're just going to build up our pitching here, and a lot of names we like here. But for the bit, let's do the full Seattle stack. Let's do it. Let's do the 3-man Seattle stack. And let's do that. I must be losing my mind because I could have sworn this button was still here when you scrolled down. Somebody needs to tell me that. What's up, Best Ball Alec? Can't believe there's a new tournament. There's always a tournament. We love it. The sickos need to draft. If you didn't check out the last episode of Stacking Dingers, which didn't get a ton of eyeballs, you should go back. And our friend Alec here, his father, who insultingly, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Sorry, Alec, and your dad. They have been playing fantasy and DFS together for a while. And his dad won the 7th inning stretch on a handful of drafts he drafted before the night before it closed. So that was fun talking to those guys, and hearing about their story, and kind of the father-son fantasy bond. Hopefully, soon our friend Chris Baseball will have some of his data crunched. Maybe our friend Billy, who was in here earlier, starting to crunch the data from last year so we can start digging into advancement rates, structures, and stacking and all that good stuff that we have now have. This will be our 3rd season of full data, right? Grayson is gone. Our friend Grayson is gone. All right, let's get Senga in here. A guy who, it was a tough decision there between Gallon and Senga. Hopefully Gallon is strong and healthy next year and can kind of get back to his top shape. But we're going to take Senga. Same thing. A guy that I'm going to guess he's going to end up at, pick 100 or so. I don't know if all pitchers are going to move up, but Senga is a guy that should move up pending, that we start getting the healthy news and stuff. Kevin, that was your dad's name. Yeah, I didn't plan on streaming because we're in the middle of deep cleaning the house for hosting Thanksgiving. So I wasn't sure. But we're here. I couldn't resist. Could not resist. Should be, Friday night's going to go back to the sheep seats and this winter, most Fridays we should be here drafting a baseball team. did not really do too much football drafting this year. I kind of appreciated the break of streaming. Not good for the algorithm and all those sort of things that we got to worry about. But I'm not really worried about because I just want to hang out and draft, and I know you guys do too. I don't need a billion people to hang out and draft. Just a few is fine by me. Oh, Ryan McMahon goes here, but I just saw that today that the Colorado Rocky, non-tendered Rogers today. Kind of surprising. But I guess they're doing it. They're gonna play their young guys again. Colorado might be doing it. It has. You're not. Our friend Al last year was not pleased with our Ellie fade at my own cost. Yep, I did, and I costed. So it's good to be back drafting, but we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to really buy in. Yeah, so Alec, if you look through everybody's ADP, the pitchers are just down in the basement to start. So we will see what happens as the season goes on. I don't even think it counts as calling a team zero pitcher if you wait till round 8 and your first pitcher is Luis Castillo. I don't think that counts to call it a zero pitcher draft. Hey, what's up, Will? Yeah, so that the way that it works, you have it exactly correct. The way that it works is that this player pool is locked for this contest. Thankfully, we have the dinger, and Numi will be there in the background, pushing the buttons, doing the spreadsheets, whatever he's got to do to get the guys in that were missed in this contest. So let's take Justin Steele here, a guy who I think is excellent at this price. So just in fairness to everybody who doesn't have the ability now to draft Connor Norby, if they add him next week, a handful of drafts go off and they didn't have the chance. So just for competitive fairness, they can't add them. But we'll have to bug Tuma because I know he was supposed to put together a list of players, and you're gonna have to tell him. Vegas had Ellie's preseason stolen baseline at 40 last year. That must be last year. What is it this year? Or is that this year? That can't be this year. No way. I am not a betting guy, so I do not look at those numbers too much. Kikuchi at 143 should be interesting to see where he lands after his career season last year. Yeah, okay, last year. Like, they're not going to make that mistake again. I'm really not worried about infielder right now based on how we built this team. All right. We're gonna start it again. We're doing it again. We're doing it again this year, everybody. I'm announcing it now. We are back. We are back on the Brandon Woodruff train. Did we ever get off? No. We just were quiet about it. Thankfully, we couldn't draft him, actually. It's probably a better way to say it. Kobe, what's up? How have I been feeling about recent dog bowls? So, I was on a sort of forced bankroll management, which isn't bad. I have not been firing at the dog bowl other than a couple each week just to see the leaderboards. I was out of town for work for 2 weeks, and it was a pretty grueling work schedule that came up while I was there. So I did not get time to do like any football research or any amount of drafting. So honestly, I'm feeling a little bit behind the 8 ball going into the live drafts. I don't know. It's, I'm not a super big football fan. So it's not like I'm following everything. Just following it enough to try and keep a little bit on it. So I'm feeling behind. I'm definitely feeling behind. Also, because the teams I've been building just have been not doing well, to say the least. All right, what do we got here? We got a strange build. We really grabbed our pitchers there in that pitcher run, brought them up out of the ADP cellar. Just this is a beautiful staff though. Trey Turner, Christian Walker is the start of our infielders. What do we want to do here upcoming? These guys are falling. Yeah, so just going off of what we're seeing in this draft, I'm going to say that we're going to see the pitcher rise. These infielders and pitchers are going to swap ADPs quite a bit before we're even done with this contest. People know, based on the last couple of year results, to wait. Oh, I missed this. I missed this Hunter Green at 34. What is his ADP? 95? Okay. You do you, TZC. You do you, my friend. But to continue my thought, definitely going to these ADPs are going to start swapping. I think we're going to see the usual outfield. I think outfield's going to act the same as all years. It's just going to go up. There's going to be some people's favorite late round outfielders that are going to slowly move up. Time to get in the streets and start finding those holes in the outfield, like Jerks Profile last year, where playing time is available for some of these late round outfielders. Oh, it's a little bit sad to see Nolan Arenado down here. Trade possibilities to be explored. I don't know who wants to take that on. Okay, let's just do it. Always one of our favorites here at the Sheep Seed, Stansby Swanson at 164. Let's do it. For someone who's played baseball but doesn't play fantasy baseball, where do I start to learn? So if your goal is to play Underdog, I think the best way to learn is to follow stackingdingers.com. No, I mean, yes, but the best way to learn, I think, is to I guess the follow up question is, how in tune with MLB are you? Like, do you watch games? Do you have a team? I guess that would be the follow up question to really hone in on where to start. But and how much time you have, because there are some, once the fantasy baseball podcasts start rolling into their, position by position breakdowns, I think there is. Okay, don't watch at all. Watch the World Series, lots of time. Okay. Yeah, so I think something that you can do, we're going to take Wilson Contreras here. We're not stacking right now. Win sheet. I don't know. We'll bug Chris when his sheet is coming out. But no, the thing I think that is worth doing is going to like Rates and Barrels and start, or Bubba and the Bloom. Ryan was in here earlier. Some of these guys that really deep dive into position by position, and their focus for Roto Fantasy Baseball is different, right? They are talking about things in a category league. They're not talking about Underdog, but their insight into players and potentials and stuff like that are a great filter to start thinking about and learning the player pool. So as you're doing that and consuming, like, what Underdog content is out there and what like a good Roto show does, I think you can combine the knowledge, the really deep fantasy baseball player analysis knowledge that those guys have, and filter that into Underdog. So I know friend of the show, the FF Child, really got into baseball last year, and essentially what he did, maybe the year, I don't know, but he builds actually his own spreadsheet of ADP, and like as he listens to these other shows and stuff, he's got like notes on every player. I don't know if you want to go that hardcore, but or how your brain works in processing information. Going through that and just starting to make a mental or physical catalog of players and thoughts that the like player analysis guys have. What's up, GM? I think that is super beneficial. Obviously, you can get too far into biasing yourself, but I think you have to start somewhere. And listening to other smart people is the best place to start. The thing about fantasy baseball and Underdog is that, well, more so Underdog than regular, you don't need to know all the advanced statistics. You have a good projection set, and you can filter the knowledge of smart player analysis into projections, into ADP on Underdog, and understanding Underdog format and points scored and stuff like that. It's sort of like mixing all that together. So I don't know if that was a rambly non-answer, but I don't know. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, we will be all over trying to go through step by step and detailed information on stacking dingers and bring people up to speed. There is a good. Let's see, we're on the clock. We are not stacking here because I don't know why, but Jake McCarthy, come on down. You're going to be our sixth outfielder. Somebody that showed some power last year and has always had the speed. We like that on a good offense. But if you go back in the Stacking Dingers channel archive, there is Best Ball 101, MLB Best Ball 101 that we did about the time the dinger dropped. Nez and I went through and talked through a lot of the basics of Underdog contest structure and stuff. So that's a great place to start if you want to get the basics of Underdog baseball. You're welcome. I mean, essentially, that's what I did when I really started wanting to get into Underdog too. Is went to just roto baseball pods because I'd been playing DFS for a while, so I knew most of the players, but that's a whole lot different of a lens DFS than trying to put together full season long teams and understanding players and upside over longer periods of time than game to game basis. But that's what I did. And for me, it was rates and barrels was a big one for me. And then listening to other guys, Bubba in the Bloom, the FTN one is good. If you want to listen, I never really got into it. A lot of people swear by the CBS fantasy baseball stuff. Oh, what? Who's got no pitchers? Milog? All right, Milog, I don't believe you understood the contest structure, so I'm sorry to say, my friend. You got to have at least 3 pitchers, so that'll be interesting to see where they end up. Ooh, Weiler Abreu. I kind of like that as a late outfielder. Pete Armstrong showed a tiny bit of power. Nolan Jones at 195. If he comes back from the down year last year and dominates, there's going to be so many sad people. There's going to be so many sad people that faded him because he hurt them so bad last year. Andrew Painter at 201. Oh boy. We are going to have to talk about innings at some point here. Sure. If you want a guy who does not pitch much this year and has game upside, sure. I don't know that I would even go to Andrew Painter first, but yep, we talked about this a little bit. I don't know if it's a crime. I mean, everybody has the same options, so it's not like it's hurting you more than any other player, or any other drafter. But yeah, Schwellenbach, that was another name somebody pointed out. But we'll get them in there for the dinger. We'll make sure they get in there. We'll push Numi. We'll push him into the street if he doesn't. All right, we're going to build a little bit on our Padres team, little Xander Bogaerts. And now we are at this classic 666 spot with 2 rounds left to go. Feeling pretty good about this pitching core. Maybe we'll add one more. We did accidentally spend a little too much at outfielder and getting Nick Castellanos. Do we want to extend that Phillies team with a Stott? Do we want to add to our Yelich? I don't think we necessarily need an Ortiz. I don't know how much upside Ortiz actually has as a hitter. I think he's going to be an important part of the Brewers, but not as a hitter. All right. This Tommy Edman we saw hitting fifth, hitting fourth, depending on what lineup the Dodgers were throwing out. So we love picking him up as our last infielder. Here's a question. What's the best source for who smashed ADP last year and possibly years prior so we can try to pattern match? We should, I think the only real people doing data analysis and the like on baseball Underdog is our friend Chris B3 Isball and Billy Jones. I don't know that this exists. The advance rates are out there. I believe if you don't know where they are exactly, but Underdog has released the the full advance rates of guys, and Chris will be digging into this year for us at Stacking Dingers, and that analysis should be out there for the year before. But I don't know that there's like one single best resource to look at specific players other than looking through just the advanced rate data. A lot of what we've looked at in the analysis that has been done is more so structure based, where you're taking players and stuff like that, than really trying to identify specific player profiles. So unfortunately, I don't know that there's a super great way to do that. Like, what is the patterns you're looking for to, like, if you can figure out the patterns, then you're going to be rich. It's going to be hard. All right, so we spent early outfielder. Is there a fun last pitcher? I have not done a pitcher scroll yet this year. TJ Hers is interesting to crew. It's really hard to ignore Jesus Luzardo sitting there. A classic favorite here on the show. Our friend Reed Detmers. The roller coaster that is Reed Detmers. Should have every opportunity again to make that rotation. Will he? Will he stay? Who knows? Let's have our friend Edwin Cabrera. All right, we're on the clock. Ooh, Yu Darvish goes. That's a good one there. I don't mind that. Last round. Eduardo Rodriguez is there. But we are going to go. Who did I see? I saw somebody. Oh, yeah. Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams. Hopefully we can get 150 inning season out of our friend Gavin Williams. There is a ton of pitching here that is questionable but interesting. Don't know. Ooh, I saw a Jack Leiter in there. Now we're getting into some of the closers and stuff. But bullpen number 1 is complete. Let's check this last round here if we got any spicy spice. We got Garrett Mitchell here. Jason, if you're out there, what happened? Why didn't you take Garrett Mitchell? He's your guy. Burleson, Brian De La Cruz, Jacob Young last round. I think you had some other washing. Yeah, you grabbed Woods. Did you get no? Anybody else? No, not really. But yes, our friend Jay Riddle put a young guy lineup together. I like that. As is our history here. We put a lot of old guys together. Not super old, but old enough. So yeah, we ended up with a 7-7-6 classic build here. Castillo, Kirby, Miller, Senga, Steele, Woodruff, Williams. If I can wait until the 8th round and get pitching staffs like this, I'm gonna be a happy sheep. Happy sheep meme. Our infield: Trey Turner, Christian Walker, Dansby Swanson, Wilson Contreras, Nolan Arenado, Xander Bogaerts, Tommy Edman. Talk about olds. We got lots of olds here. Hopefully a consistent core, though. Outfield: Tatis, Schwarber, Harris, Castellanos, Yelich, and McCarthy. All right. That was excellent. Thanks, everyone, for jumping on here. Short notice, hanging out, drafting. Drafting is open. The fun has begun. I appreciate each and every one of you that come to these and listen to me ramble about baseball players and Underdog and everything like that. Follow me on Twitter, on Blue Sky, Dark Sheep. It's down there. I don't need to say it again. And make sure you are subscribed to Stacking Dingers. That content will be rolling out soon. So everyone, go get in some baseball drafts this weekend. That's your goal I'm setting for you. And I'll be disappointed if you don't accomplish your goal. Good night.